Hello, everyone, and welcome to our MS Path to Care four-part webinar series about keeping your world full and active. It's all about managing MS symptoms, and this is part one. Our learning objectives for the series are that people with MS and their support partners will recognize the impact that MS symptoms and disease progression can have on one's emotional wellness, roles at home and at work, activities, and relationships. They will learn the role of healthy, normal grieving as a first step to adaptation and problem solving. Learn strategies for managing changes that happen at work, at home, in the community, and in one's relationships, and understand the impact that all of the disease-related changes can have on all the members of the family. And also hear sample conversation starters that will help begin the problem-solving process. So our goal is to help you keep your world as big and active and exciting and interesting as you want it to be. And we're going to focus on the areas of relationships and your role in the community and your activities at work. Because we know that MS can sometimes feel as though it is taking over your world. So what are the symptoms that can make your world feel smaller? Well, almost any of the symptoms of MS, but clearly fatigue, which is one of the most common and most disabling symptoms of MS that people experience, but also physical changes like increased weakness or stiffness and spasticity in one's limbs, problems with walking and balance, maybe vision problems, bladder and bowel changes. But in addition to these physical changes, people can experience emotional changes like depression, anxiety, and irritability, which are symptoms of MS just like these other symptoms I mentioned. And cognitive changes, where people experience challenges with their memory or with processing incoming information. They may have difficulty with planning or problem solving or organization. All of these symptoms can make the world feel smaller. So as I mentioned, healthy grieving is a first step to beginning the problem-solving process. Why is that? Well, we all spend a lifetime building up a picture of ourselves, who we are, what makes us unique, what has our life history contributed to the kind of person we are. It's like a big jigsaw puzzle put together over your lifetime. And then the doctor hands you another piece to the puzzle that says, you have MS. And you have to figure out how that is going to fit into your life. And figuring out where it's going to fit is the first part of the grieving process, because you kind of have to let go of the picture you had of yourself before the diagnosis of a chronic illness, and then gradually integrate this new information and the symptoms that it brings into the picture you have of yourself. That's a grieving process. And each time that MS takes away something from you or makes it harder to do something that you love at home or at work or in your community, there is a little grieving process that goes on as you adjust to that new change. So that grieving really starts right at the time of diagnosis, and it starts that whole process of acknowledging or accepting what's going on and then making adaptations. As you problem solve, there are 3 steps. One is you have to recognize the challenge that you're having or the change that you're experiencing. And then you have to explore strategies to deal with it. It might be new tools. It might be new ways of doing things. It might be having different kinds of assistance from people around you or from software or whatever kinds of tools and strategies will help you be successful. And then you have to accept that it may require you doing things differently than you did them before. It's all about making changes to help yourself be active and stay involved. Now, the mood and cognitive symptoms that are so common in MS can really affect this process of adapting and problem solving, right? Our feelings and our thoughts affect everything that we try to do. So it's important to recognize the kinds of mood changes in MS that can get in your way. Mood changes, particularly depression and anxiety, are very, very common symptoms of MS, resulting from changes in the immune system and in the brain. So just like any other symptom of MS, they can pop up at any time in the disease course. We know that they're under-recognized in people with MS and undertreated, which means that many people are living with more depression or anxiety than they really need to, because they're not reporting it and it's not being addressed. Support partners, family members also experience significant mood changes. So they also need to be aware of how they are feeling emotionally. Cognitive changes, particularly the speed with which one can process incoming information, remember and learn new things, pay attention, plan and problem solve. All of those things are commonly affected in people with MS, and at least half of people with MS are going to experience some of those cognitive changes, and it's really upwards of 65%. It's more common in progressive MS, but it can occur even as a first symptom. So we want people to be on the alert for both these mood changes and these cognitive problems. Why are they so important, and why do I, as a mental health professional working in MS, spend so much time working with people around these changes? Well, first of all, mood and cognitive changes impact each other, right? When you're depressed or anxious, that can slow your thinking or contribute to the cognitive symptoms that you may also have. But also when you experience cognitive changes and you can't think as clearly or as easily as you did before, you can't keep things organized or remember them, that can really impact your mood, because it's very discouraging and depressing when you feel like your mind isn't working the way you want it to. These changes can interfere with your ability to take care of yourself, or to use or explore some of those adaptations and accommodations that we talked about that can help you stay active and involved. And certainly they can affect problem solving. When you're anxious or depressed, everything feels more difficult. And so we want to manage the mood and cognitive issues first to make the rest of the things you're trying to manage feel less challenging. And these mood and cognitive changes really do interfere with communication and relationships in a variety of ways. Fortunately, there are lots of people on your healthcare team who can help. And this graphic you'll see in all 4 parts of this series. But the important thing is that you and your support team, your family, are at the center of the healthcare team. You're really the captain of the ship. And in the blue circles, you have those individuals who are on your primary team, your core team, like your primary doctor, your MS provider, your nurse practitioner, and so on. But there are all of these people on the extended healthcare team who can help. And when you're talking about mood changes or cognitive changes that are getting in your way, you're really going to want to reach out to the mental health professionals, whether they're psychologists, psychiatrists, or social workers, who can help you manage those mood issues. So we're in the next segments going to focus specifically on your relationships, your work, and your employment efforts, and also your engagement in the community, because we want to keep that world of yours as busy and open and active as it can be.